Ay, 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 ay. So, like last week, right, when I said in my episode 1 review of this show that it had potential and I was looking forward to seeing more? Yeah, well, I might be very close to rescinding that statement, I have to say. Because episode 2 was, not really that impressive in any way. And did not draw me in, actually, kind of at all. It felt like a complete dud, to be honest. I mean, sure, we got some world building. Okay, apparently there are multiple human nations, and apparently they have this Alliance of Kings mantra where they all band together to drive back the demons whenever they attack, which I suppose happens every so often during these centuries. And apparently 3 times before, the human army has been able to drive back the demons to their castle. But then my question is, okay, if the humans could drive the demons back 3 times even to their castle, like completely defeat them, I suppose, why are the demons still alive? Shouldn't the humans just eradicate them then, if they have such an advantage and they beat them 3 times in a row? Like, how are the demons still alive? How are they gaining power time and again? Do you just drive them back, but don't annihilate them? Like, is it impossible to kill them all off? What's up with that? I don't know. That just seems sort of like a lost opportunity if we were the humans in that case, but whatever, moving on. It also definitely seems that Sati, the maid, the slave maid, because of course, will be the sort of catalyst for the viewer perspective in this series, as she's the one that asks questions like, oh, what does that mean? How does that work? And she'll be sort of the exposition dump character where she will ask what everything means in the story, and then the main character will tell her, and by extension telling us, the viewers, what's going on. So okay, I guess that's one of her uses as a character. Sure, that's probably the best I have to say about this episode, because then my issues start. Starting with some annoying tropes we didn't and do not need in this show, and that is starting with the classical lusty underling that is super hungry for Mr. MC Ike's D, apparently. She comes in, super lovey-dovey, and I guess she just wants everything he has to offer. No questions asked. Like, okay, do you really need this character? I guess so. Gotta have a waifu, right? And then, of course, the inevitable sort of battle between waifus, the maid versus the lusty underling. Like, really? Are we really going this route? Are we really just gonna spend time on this sort of rivalry? Like, who gets to be close to the main character? Who gets to sort of be his main girl or something? Like, really? Are we gonna waste time on this throughout the season? We don't need to do this, okay? Really? Anime, really? We can move on from this, alright? This is not the story where I am looking for these sort of elements. You can do so much more with this story, so don't get bogged down with these sort of tropey, half romance, harem, underlining story things you don't need to do at all, really. And then you have many other tropes in this episode, like, of course, the classical corrupt, incompetent bureaucrats, and other aspects, which is like, fine, whatever, not the worst. But my issues just keep ramping up after this as well, to be honest. But before you hear more of my issues and complaining from this episode, if you are enjoying the video or my coverage of this anime or any other anime, please remember to like and subscribe. It greatly helps out the channel and deeply appreciate your support. Thank you. Okay, so back to my issues, my problems in this episode. Outside of the episode just feeling really unsatisfying and it feeling like a dud, feeling like just like a half limp of an episode, they set up things that just don't really make sense story-wise. For example, Ike, our MC here, again, supposedly the strongest mage in the entire world, right? Some random person gets behind enemy lines and shoots him in the back with a normal bow and arrow. Nothing special, normal bow and arrow, and he just gets hit, falls over, and almost dies. It's like, what? What? What the fuck? Really? Seriously? Really? Like, this guy, the strongest mage, again, let's just emphasize that. He has no defensive barriers, he has no other defensive magic, no detection magic, not anything going on to protect him from, I don't know, random assassins or assaults from people. Like, really? He has nothing active at all times, especially during a battle, as a battle is currently ongoing, even if it's not on the front lines. Like, that just seems absolutely mental. But okay, whatever, he gets hit, falls over, almost dies. Because, again, he is human, after all. Somehow, no one asks questions that this seeming undead demon must be hit by an arrow and almost die. I mean, I would question that if I was in the demon army. It's like, huh, he just sort of fell over after taking one single arrow. I didn't think undead beings even had a heart, you know? Like, that doesn't seem correct. But anyways, moving on. The commander person, who's the only one that knows his secret, again, she saves him and does some waifu lusty jokes. Okay, sure, why not? And then she teleports out. Okay, thank you for coming over. Bye-bye. And then after this general who was sent to attack the city he is guarding retreats because of Ike's ambush, she's imprisoned by the standard corrupt bureaucrats. Okay, sure. And Ike wants to talk to her because he wants to find out about this assassin who, again, not only just attacked him and almost killed him, also somehow just got in and out of the city without being noticed or seen or anything. Like, okay, that seems kind of weird. Even if it is an inside job, which is hinted at in this episode, that is kind of odd, you know? Anyway, he goes to this prison where this general girl is held, and on his way there, he says to the lusty underling who is following him, because of course she is, that, you know, don't kill the humans, don't cause unnecessary suffering. You know, that's my orders, period. And as we also get further nailed down this episode, yes, Ike, as his main goal, is not to kill humans, but to have humans and demons live together, and he wants to create this prosperous, harmonious sort of society, right? Okay, sure. Good attitude, thumbs up. And again, he is very specific to this demon girl, not to sort of cause unnecessary harm, right? But then she goes on to do exactly that. Bashes heads together, and then as she gets into the prison, breaks someone's arm, and it's treated as a joke. It's treated as like, haha, sort of funny-esque. And even our main character makes a comment after he looks at this pain and suffering she's causing. Even if she isn't killing them, I would say it definitely suffices to be unnecessary harm, right? And he just says to himself, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that. Like, really? Like, that's your line? You're sort of just brushing it off as like a comedic sort of thing? Like, really? Like, this main character is supposed to be super die-hard on, I want peace, I don't want unnecessary harm to humans or anyone at all. And that's how he responds? I mean, how he should respond in a serious story, I would say, is that after having told this demon girl what the rules were, you know, his orders, and she then goes on to break them, what I would have liked to see, again in a serious story, was that he would turn around, see this, and just instantly stop in his tracks and just sort of grab hold of her, admonish her, absolutely just set the law in stone, right? And just completely smack her about verbally. It's like, I told you what you were not allowed to do. I do not accept this. This is not allowed. Period. Do you understand? Like, do you understand to obey me, to listen to me when I tell you this is the lay of the land? And that's what I would have liked to see, going by his motivations, his goals, and also what a sort of cool acting, serious main character would do in a situation like this, not laugh it off. Anyway, after this, he goes up to the tower, meets this general who's somehow got a knife and is attacking him in prison. Okay. And somehow, again, another human, instantly after being with him like a second, is questioning whether he is a demon. Like, are you actually a human? Like, how would she know? Like, how does she know? Like, he's in his whole role-playing demon arc, but somehow she still feels he is a human? Like, how can you just randomly know this, or believe this, or have this inkling that he might not be demon? And this is something he has been hiding as his biggest, most important secret for 20 years. But still, you just sort of had this inkling, this intuition that he's actually human. Like 10 seconds into talking to him. That's just mental to me. It's crazy. Like, what's this writing? I don't understand. And then she, assumingly, maybe gets the upper hand in the fight with a knife because he looks away for a second. Not really sure what the last scene is supposed to mean, but if he doesn't just body her at the start of episode 3, I will have issues with that as well. But yeah, not to harp on the show too much, as I don't like just sort of hammering shows for being bad or doing things I don't like. But just so many things in this episode felt off, felt bad, felt just nonsensical to where the story could go, arguably should go, and what I would like to see from the story. I wouldn't say it's because it's going against what I would like either that I'm not liking it, but just that it's written in such a way that it doesn't make logical sense. Like, how do these people know this information? How do these things happen with all the things that have been established or assumingly established in this world? It just seems super weird and odd to me. And at this point, I require an explanation for why things are as they are, which is not where you want to be in the story, where viewers are thinking to themselves, if I'm going to accept this, I need someone to explain to me exactly what happened here. That's not where you want to be. You know what I mean? Anyhow, though, those are my thoughts on episode 2 of this show. A very big disappointment for me after the first episode where I thought there was potential, but that hope is rapidly dwindling after this episode. Just many elements I don't really like in a story like this, and it just seems to not be going in a serious direction at all. But we'll have to see, I guess, how it develops over the next few episodes and how invested I'm going to be in the story moving forward for the rest of the season, and if I'm even going to cover it week to week, which at this point is looking unlikely if it goes down this road further. Anyway, though, what are your thoughts? Leave those down below in the comment section on the episode, my video, anything else. That being said, hope you have a nice day, keep watching anime, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.